Hi, how you doing? Today we're gonna work on this Xbox Series S model. S for sexy, lovely design, very small, very easy to take apart. I love this design really. After you take out the mainboard, we have to remove the CPU cooler holder. It still is this X design. It's not my favorite, but I can live with it. You're just using a flathead screwdriver. Try to find the corner where is nothing there. So if it's accidentally slide, then you're not taking off components. Once you removed the cooler, check if the thermal paste or the pads need to be replaced. But finally we can get to the HDMI port. We don't have many issues with this model, but when we have, then usually it's rip pads. So it's slightly opened, but it's not, that's the problem. I'm gonna show you. Try to move this leg. I don't want to scratch the board. Just a second. Yeah, you can see slightly moving. Yeah, so probably we have at least one ripped pad. Remove this little grounding pad from the bottom, as we have to heat up the HDMI port to remove it. They can melt very quickly, so remove them from the nearby. And after we can start heating. I am using hot air station, 500 Celsius with 130 liters per minute, and obviously flux. Use plenty of it, make things easier. You need a lot of time to heat up, and when you can see the flux bubbling, you try to move very gently the HDMI port. You don't want to rip more pads up. It's very easy. It's need around, we can check here, maybe 40 seconds, maybe 1 minute to heat up properly. This part of the video is not edited, so you can check the real time. It needs a lot of patience. Move the hot air a little bit around there, because it's a lot of grounded area which is swallowing the heat. Once you can see the 4 folding pads, the soldier start to liquefy, you can start moving around it. Yep, and we can lift it up. Let's see what is the damage. Okay, we have 4 missing pads on the right side, so 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. Now you can see different techniques to connect the new pads for the HDMI port. This is how I do. Okay, everybody have a different techniques. This is mine. It's working for me mostly. First with a blade, or if you have a grinding pencil, you try to remove the top layer, the protector layer, to get to the bare cooper. so we can solder on it. Now when you do this, try to be patient. These copper layers are around 0.08 millimeter. So once you remove the protector layer, it's very easy to cut through. Try to get a nice surface where we can solder. Now this bottom, that one is the grounding layer. That is really hard to heat up. Just the soldering iron, probably not gonna make it. Unless you have a Weller 150 watt station. I don't. I'm using Kako, which you can provide around 75 watt. So we're gonna need hot air for that one, for sure. But we'll see, I'm gonna show you. When you want to see a little bit better, just use a little ear tips with isopropyl alcohol. That one cleaning up the surface very nicely and dry up quickly. I think I cut through there on the layer, so we have to solder there anyway. That solder is gonna connect it together again. We'll see. Now in this video is not a fully edited version, so you will see when I'm struggling, okay, with this. I made this video before holiday. I wasn't really in the best state of mind. So if you have any issue, then probably you're gonna see all the problems what I have done here. Okay, it's not a 5 minutes edited version or a quick HDMI replacement. This one is pain. Okay, that one should be fine. Let's see. Connection 19. You have to move very gently with the blade or the grinder. Very gently. You see, once you get to that layer, it's very easy to pick it up, cut down a piece like I did here. It's not a problem. You just go a little bit further. So that's alright. This trace is damaged anyway, we have to sort it. The rest of the connectors looks good, so we only have this 4 to take care of. 3 signal, 1 ground. I'm using the standard pads what we ordered from Relish, something like this, the name, I don't know the company. We ordered a few packages, so on each package you have around 20. So 200 data connectors, so it's good for a while. on this chip. Try to use some low melt solder that make things a little bit easier. Don't worry if it's messing up. This one is mixed with flux already, so basically it's very tiny balls mixed with flux, make things very easy to work, but you can't use too high temperature. So I'm using 350 here, because obviously we have to heat up the board as well. Unfortunately, that one is not enough. Maybe it's gonna hold. We'll see. If you're using 450 Celsius, then the flux is gonna burn. So you can't use more heat with this material. If it's nice and shiny, then we can work with it. In that case, the new trace can stick there. Now you can use different flux. I'm gonna put mine in the description. You see, it's a really pain to heat up. The ground is just taking away the heat. I'm gonna use a little hot air, around 200 Celsius. Just to heat up that area. It's not enough to melt, but it's much easier now to work with the soldering iron. Whenever you have an issue, especially if you're using cheap Chinese soldering irons, then just do this. Just preheat the area with a hot air station and you're probably good to go. Probably. It's not always enough. Maybe I should give the title How Not to Do It. But don't worry, at the end, it's gonna work. I know it's hard to believe at this point. Here we go. We take off the excess, so we don't wanna make a short with the other connections. It's okay if it's a little left, don't worry about it. We're gonna clean it up nicely after. You want to hold the trace a little bit with the tweezer, so it's not gonna stuck with the soldering iron, otherwise you just pulling it away. It's not easy. If you push with the tweezer too hard, then you can cut the trace. It's ugly, but it's probably gonna work. Now the ground connection is coming from the back, so we have to put that one under the HDMI port. Otherwise, I usually like to work from the top. So with the data traces, that one we can install after I put back the HDMI port. We just clean up a little bit with the isopropyl alcohol. It's okay if it's a little left on the holes. They are not gonna do any damage, don't worry. We're gonna check if it's in the right position. We don't want that short on the data line. Alright, I just take off the excess from the trace and we put the new HDMI port. I'm replacing the HDMI port, so I'm not putting back the old one. It's only cost, I don't know, 5-6 pounds, not worth it. You just heat up, push it down, I'm pushing with a pilot. Yep. And after we're gonna check it. Okay. I think now it's gonna be a good one. If you have a good microscope, basically you can see when it's really melted. Alright, so we have to do the data lines. So what I do usually, I can connect to the HDMI connector side first or to the data line. It's up to you, whichever is more convenient for you. I'm just using a little flux. A little extra solder on the tip. Heat it up, try to hold on. And if it's hold it, you're good to go. Yeah. Don't release with the tweezer. I know it's a very bad angle. Okay. Here we go. Nice. After you can bend to the right place. And you just need a touch of love and it should be fine. As basically it's no connection on the board there, it's gonna heat up very quickly, very nicely. When we have a little excess, we can remove that one later. Okay, let's see the next data line. We still have a lot of flux here, so we can use that one. We put the trace into the flux, so it's gonna be easier to stick with the solder. Now it's a little bit easier if you're not doing this for the show. So if you're working with the microphone and you try to record, it's a little bit harder to not cover the area, but I try to manage it. Oops. We connected the two trays together, it's okay. To data line. It's might be. It actually doesn't put anything. It's alright. We just do it again. Okay, we connect it again. Alright, so our goal to solder to the right data line. For that one you have to heat up at least for 2 or 3 seconds. Now that one's easier, obviously, because it's just on the side. Once it's hold it. Okay, I just have to bend a little bit. So I'm not soldering on the other trays. Come on. Whoops. Yeah. So we just hold it down and try it again. It's okay if you make mistakes. That's alright. Okay, I'm not sure that second data line is holding anything. We will see. I try to separate them with the tweezer. I'm not sure that's good, but we're gonna take a closer look. Okay. I think they are not connected. It's hard to tell. That one is alright. But this is a little bit ugly. Let's wash up. Clean up a little bit. Here is plenty of alcohol, doesn't matter. Okay, now that one was a bad soldering. If it's coming up when you try to clean up, then it's not good. Don't worry, it's better now. Because when the customer's gonna insert the HDMI cable, these pins will move a little bit because they are not connected directly to the board. So this is why we're using these flexible cables here. They're gonna move a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, my. So let's see what's happening if you accidentally connect two pins together. You use flux. Especially if you cleaned up with alcohol, you need a fresh flux. You need a nice clean tip. And you try to pull out the excess very nicely. Good. Obviously we need a new wire now. Sorry, I tried to get a better angle, but unfortunately I cast a shadow there. Sorry about that. So we try to solder to the pin. Come on. And okay, good. Now we just have to push into the right position, solder it, and we're good to go. Alright, I think that should be fine. Let's take off the excess. Nope. Alright. Just a few more seconds. And it's the best if you can put on parallel. So if it's crossing, then it's gonna hold, but not for long. If it's parallel a little bit, that's much better for you. Now just grab it, move around, and it's coming off. Good. Now let's see that data line. Can we solder down? Oh my. Okay. Let's move it very gently. Okay, I think it's a little bit too much. Yeah. It's just too much everything here, so we have to clean up a little bit. Now this is a very small braid. Very thin one. Use a little extra flux and try to nicely remove the excess. 1mm, 2mm braid, so very small. Okay. We removed a little bit too much from here. Should be fine. That one is... Hey, it looks much better. And finally this one. Yep. Very good. Now back again to the trace. Can we solder the new trace now? Okay. It's gonna be easier now. Once I managed to put it in the right position and hold it there for a second. Come on. I know it's painful to see. Trust me, it was painful to do it. Okay. Not bad. Nice parallel soldering. Good. Or not? No. It's alright. Come on. Stick together nicely. Okay. That brown stuff what you see, unfortunately the flux. I turned the soldering iron up to 400 Celsius, and if I heating up for too long, this is what is happening. Okay, we're gonna remove the little bits, because once we start to clean up, we don't want these to get between the pins. All right. All right. Okay. Let's check once again. Okay, it was almost a shoulder. Okay. That one is nicely connected. Nicely. That one is not connected together. That one is holding. Perfect. All right. Gonna clean up a little bit. If it's working, I'm gonna use the UV glue to hold them nicely, and we're gonna be fine. All right. So next time, if you're working with the next box Series S and you have an HDMI problem, then 90% of the cases is not the HDMI port is broken inside, unfortunately. It's not the pins are not came up, it's unfortunately it's ripped off from the main board. So add a little extra time, get some traces in hand, they are cheap really, and yeah, make yourself free for an hour at least. Alright, quickly check the other pins, but I think this is gonna be fine. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please subscribe, like, etc. If you have any question, just write us and we're gonna try to reply for you. All the comments, 1 or 2 days, we're gonna get back to you. Alright, see you, take care.
If you need assistance with the repair or have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via email at info@southlondonrepair.co.uk. We're here to help.